America's increasing appetite for homegrown foods is causing a boom in farmers markets.
Yeah, there are now more than 7,000 markets nationwide. But a 41 Action News investigation uncovered food safety efforts haven't necessarily kept pace. Investigator Melissa Yeager joins us with what markets are doing to keep you safe. Melissa?
Well, our investigation found in Kansas and Missouri there are no state laws requiring inspection of farmers markets, meaning you may want to ask a few questions before you buy.
Got some good sweet corn here, you guys.
The aisles at Kansas City's City Market are crowded on Saturdays.
Thank you.
Filled with fresh produce, fresh flowers, and families ready to shop.
We just like fresh produce. We support the local farmers and think it's better tasting, fresher produce in the grocery store.
There's a waiting list for farmers to get stalls on Saturdays. Farmers wanting to sell to people like John Byram, here to buy healthy produce for his family.
Probably less pesticides, less antibiotics, local stuff that hasn't been shipped and exposed to more bugs and disease.
How about a peach?
Ooh, you want a peach?
Before his daughter touched that fresh peach, City Market Master Deb Connors visited the farm where it came from,
cucumbers,
to make sure her customers get the healthy food they pay for.
I usually spend all day Thursday. Sometimes, you know, when we go south, it's 16-hour days, 10-hour days. It can be a really long day, and then I come and home and blog about it. So it's a lot of work, but I think it's well worth it.
Connors walks every row, writing down everything grown on the farm.
Those look really nice, actually.
And when it should be picked.
They're starting to turn from green to even yellow.
None of this is required by Kansas or Missouri state laws. It's something the City Market does on its own.
And it's not a state guideline, but I think it's good for the market, and it helps to not mislead the customers.
Along with ensuring farmers are growing what they're selling, Connors asks a lot of questions.
Where do you have to get your water from?
Sand plant across the river.
She wants to make sure the farmers aren't using contaminated water, one of several things that could cause a foodborne illness.
I look to make sure there's not animals running rampant in the fields like cows or pigs or chickens, because that would be, you know, contaminate the produce. So I look for those things, and I am glad to say our vendors do a really good job with this, so it's always good to see.
We called around to the different markets and found out that the City Market, Overland Park Market, and Gladstone markets all do go out and do site visits of their vendors. But not every market does that, so what do you do as a consumer? Well, food safety experts say use a little common sense. When you go out and they're offering samples, make sure that they're covered and that they're using toothpicks and gloves to serve them. Make sure that things that are temperature sensitive, like eggs and meat, are on ice. And also make sure that they have clean bathrooms and that the market is clean. Finally, take advantage of the fact you can actually talk to the vendors about how they grow your food.
This looks very clean.
Tammy Roberts is a food safety expert with the University of Missouri Agriculture Extension Office.
When I go to the farmer's market, one of the things that I try to ask the producer is, where are their things grown? Do they have the area fenced in? And the reason for that is because of animal contamination.
Many of the foodborne illness problems, like the massive spinach outbreak in 2006, come from animal contamination.
The main things with animal contamination is the risk of E. coli. E. coli is what we've heard a lot about in the news lately, and it does pose a serious risk for serious illness.
Connors says she has had to kick farmers out of City Market.
Last year I had a farmer I would not let in the market. The weeds were over my head. I couldn't find the produce. There was no way he was going to be able to bring things to the market, or a quality produce. I've had vendors where I've showed up at their farm and there is no farm.
But she says most of the farmers have great pride in their produce.
They know if there's a foodborne outbreak at the City Market, the market's done. You know, their livelihood is over. So it's very important to them that they keep everything safe.
And both states and local health departments do inspect vendors of what they consider potentially hazardous items like eggs, meats, jams, jellies, and cooked foods, but not produce. Experts say they do know that people do get sick from bad produce at farmers market, though it's hard to say exactly how often because you're dealing with such a small quantity of food. And we've put up some links to the blogs for the Gladstone and City Market, so you can kind of check those out. The links are on our website, kshb.com/investigators.
It's important to think about because it all looks so beautiful when you go in there, and it's easy to just buy it all up without thinking about where it comes from.
Make sure it's healthy. All right. Well, now we can know we can support them with ease.
Yes, read up, ask questions.
All right. Thanks, Melissa. Well, if there's something